Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome indeed, yes, to a Tuesday edition of the Mark Mosey Show podcast. We're always broadcasting live from the Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Take back control of your life. Call them today, 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Yes, it's Anidjar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. And to talk some NFL with me is a very fine gentleman who loves the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, I thought about different people I could have on, but I had to get his perspective. The other side of what I experienced on Sunday there at Paycor Stadium. We'll get into that as well. He is Brian Bosarge with Draft Countdown. Brian, how you doing today, buddy?
Mark, I'm doing good, man. Just here, man. Just having a time about it.
You have been to that stadium before, and you went, was it for a playoff game?
It was the one where they ended the 31-year drought for the playoff wins, and when they beat the Raiders in the playoffs. That was my first game ever in that stadium, and I may never go back because I'm never going to top that experience again. So but that was an awesome time.
I will say this, and I've known you for a long time. I respect you. And you do a great job covering the NFL draft and, the Senior Bowl. I'm going to say positive first, then maybe I'll talk trash. That is a great city. Like, those people were fantastic. Now, if I was a Steelers fan or a Ravens fan, I don't know if it'd be the same experience, but I could tell with the two fan bases, we've both had so much heartache and pain. It's like we were at a family reunion or something. That's what it felt like. But again, the city was great. Everyone was just like awesome. And the experience at the stadium, and I tell this to every fan base, you got to have the stadium right downtown. Have it right there in the heart of the city. And you walk to the game, and we tried the Skyline Chili. And hey, I know two things now. That's the Jungle. Well, welcome to the Jungle's playing Guns N' Roses. Okay, this is the Jungle. And who day? All right, let me see if I can do it. Who day going to beat them Bengals? Nobody. Okay, so it was, without a shadow of a doubt, and then I'll get your thoughts, maybe the best way to describe that game on Sunday, which was the craziest game I've ever been to. It was like watching Rocky and Apollo Creed fight each other for 12 rounds, where there's no defense and they're throwing haymakers at each other, and whoever can survive the final bell is going to win this. It was, again, the wackiest, craziest football game, and I watch high school, college, NFL. I don't think anything's going to top that. From your perspective, what was that experience like?
It's one of those games, man. I don't want to sound cliche when I say it, but it's like I just throw my hands up. It's like I can't deal with it anymore. It's like you're doing the defense is so bad. It's like no matter what, and you pull off this unheard of thing where you get an onside kick, you return the kick earlier in the game. You've had all of these things happen. Your quarterback throws for 470 yards and your 40-year-old quarterback with a bad arm throws for 470 yards and 4 touchdowns, and you still lose. And then you miss a field goal earlier in the game that could have made a difference in the game as well because your coach doesn't know the clock rules, and they end up kicking the ball with a quarterback ball instead of a kicking ball. And that's why McPherson's ball falls short of it's just one of those games. And you were talking about the two fan bases, so I want to go back to that. It's almost like battered wife syndrome. It's almost, and you have that in common. It's like wives that just get abused by their husbands so much, but they have that bond together. And that's kind of what the Bears and Bengals fan bases are like because their ownerships have been so bad over the years that it's just that's how they bond, I guess.
Yeah, I was amazed by the Ring of Honor is just some photos on the wall. Like when you're walking by the concourse, it has like Anthony Munoz and I know, I swear there was a story, and maybe you can correct me. Was there something like Boomer Esiason's going to get honored, but then they told him he has to pay? What's the story for this?
So they did the Ring of Honor ceremony last week against the Jets. And they were inducted Dave Lapham and someone else, I can't remember. But they invite all of the past Ring of Honor inductees. They just started, and the sad part is they just started doing this like 4 or 5 years ago. So this is still a relatively new concept for the Bengals to actually have a Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But they invite all of the past Ring of Honor inductees, but they're like, we'll book your rooms, but you got to pay for them. We'll book your flights, but you have to pay for them. And Boomer Esiason called him on the carpet about it. Corey Dillon's been calling him on the carpet about it because it's a petty it's a poor franchise run by poor. At this point, I am begging some local Cincinnati venture capitalist hedge fund guy just to buy the damn team.
Mm. So you can get that like Mark Cuban owns the Mavericks type thing where some crazy millionaire, he's going to open up those checkbooks. Dude. Okay, here's what we had in this football game, win or lose. If you're not a fan of either of these teams, you must have thought this was awesome. We had opening kickoff for a touchdown. We had the Philly special. We had a blocked field goal. So I'm trying to remember it all. Like you said, onside kick. We had a 2-point conversion. We had a quarterback catch a touchdown in this game. We had, I'm sorry to say this, DJ Moore fumbled the ball into the end zone. And I yelled, look, I was happy for the play, and I yelled, if you're the Bengals, challenge that play. What do you have to lose? You're down 7. We had fans leave the stadium. I bet you there was fans trying to get back into the stadium. Was there any play we didn't have? Like maybe the Statue of Liberty play? Was that the only thing missing, Brian?
It was one of those games, and you could tell like Ben Johnson had no respect for their defense with some of the plays he was calling. And why should he at this point? You know, why should you have respect for their defense? They're on a run where, I mean, it's not being hyperbolic when I say that they are on pace to statistically potentially be the worst defense in the history of the NFL. They've been playing in the NFL a long time. And the Bengals defense is currently on pace by one of these metrics they use with a bunch of acronyms, letters for something. They're on pace to be the worst defense of all time.
I like this morning I woke up and you could still see the bags under my eyes. I'm trying to recover from this experience. It was too much for one man. You just said the Bengals might have the worst defense of all time. I like Jerry Jones this morning decides, give me one of the linebackers after giving up 27 points to the Arizona Cardinals with Jacoby Brissett. Give me one of the linebackers from the Bengals. What? I don't get it, buddy. I don't get it.
I don't either. I mean, but to be fair, they kind of went with a youth movement at linebacker. They drafted 2 linebackers this year in the 2nd and 4th round. So they were kind of had benched Logan Wilson anyway. I mean, he lost a step? Yes. I still think he can be of some value to the Cowboys or, this year. But it's those 2 rookie linebackers, by the way, lead all rookie linebackers in tackles. They also lead all rookie linebackers in missed tackles. So
here's what it is. Here's what it is, buddy. Here's what I know what you're thinking because I'm thinking the same thing. Joe Flacco is like somehow in some type of Disney movie right now. Like just you're scoring at will. It is a buzzsaw. And I feel like, and I want your opinion on this. He's unleashed this offense better than Joe Burrow has done earlier in this year. You are scoring at will. How many points have you scored in the last 3 weeks? 120 combined? You are going nonstop scoring the football. And if you had any type of defense, you could win this division. I want your thoughts on this, buddy, right now.
Had they beat the Jets last week and even with, and won this game this past week, they would be a half game out of first from Pittsburgh right now with a heads up win over them already, which they play Pittsburgh again next week, or not this week, but the week after. It's Joe Flacco has kept them afloat because Jake Browning was awful in those handful of starts. He was the quarterback. What I thought was interesting when I saw it is the fact that their sack rate has gone down this season compared to years past where everybody's just beat up on the offensive line for 4 straight years, whatever. I still don't think they're that good, but nobody's talking about it anymore because the defense is so bad.
Yeah.
But their sack percentage has gone down this year because this is a part of the Joe Burrow magic that you get because of all the great plays that he makes, but he takes more sacks. because he's trying to constantly extend plays. Well, Joe Flacco can't physically extend plays. That's just not who he is. It's never who he's been. He's not going to do it. So their sack percentage is going down because the ball's coming in. He's getting the ball out, and he's smartly getting it to. I mean, no receiver's been targeted more than Jamar Chase since Joe Flacco's came in. T. Higgins is taken off the last couple of weeks. They're trying to get the ball to Andre Yoshivas, which he's had a lot of drops the last few weeks, but he came up big in this game as well. I mean, they're missing Mike Gesicki. He's on IR. So it's just interesting how the offense has really taken off with Flacco and what he's able to do at that age. What was it? He set the NFL record for most passing yards in a game with a quarterback over 40, past Tom Brady the other day with that game against the Bears, 470 yards. Just ridiculous numbers, right?
1,000 combined yards. 1,000. Okay. You know what's funny? So after the game, we go back to the hotel and they're trying to shove Chiefs Bills part 95 down our throats. And we don't care. I'm like, I just saw the craziest game ever. I don't care about Jim Nantz or Tony Romo or this game of the Chiefs and Bills. Again, over 1,000 yards of offense in this game. Dude, Brian,
the sad part about it is nobody saw it. Outside of your 75-mile radius of Chicago and Cincinnati, that's the only place the game was broadcast. It was like the lowest, the smallest area of broadcast for CBS or Fox. I'm sorry.
No one thought it'd be that big of a deal. That's what's crazy.
Right.
It's so wild, dude. Is Joe Flacco a Hall of Famer now?
I don't. Is he elite? Is that the question we should be asking?
Yeah.
I don't know if Joe Flacco is a Hall of Famer, but because I don't really know who's a Hall of Famer anymore. It seems like those goalposts have shifted over the years, but it's been fun to watch. I mean, at least if you're gonna be terrible at something, at least do it colorfully, right? And that's what the Bengals are doing week in, week out. The games are entertaining. You can't say they're not.
Oh yeah. If you have to take on the Bengals moving forward, you should be scared out of your mind. That's what I take out of that game Sunday. You should be scared because he, like you said, he's unleashed those two wide receivers. And this is what the Bengals sign up for. We gave the quarterback big money. We gave these two receivers big money. We're going to have the number one passing offense in the NFL, and we're going to scare people. And that's what you're doing right now.
The problem with the Bengals is everybody's like, well, you're spending all this money on the offense, but your defensive spending is here. But they've spent in the last 5 years something like 12 or 13 top 100 draft picks on the defense. They're just poorly evaluating guys. And it's like their first round pick this past year, Shamar Stewart, right? He's missed a few games because of injury. The Bears, Darnell Wright basically eviscerated him on one play this weekend. It was wild. Just like he buried him under the turf. But he had 4 sacks in 4 years at Texas A&M. And he was an athletic freak. I get that. But no production in college. You draft him. He currently has 2 tackles on the season. That is 3 less than wide receiver Jamar Chase. Your number one draft pick this year has 3 less solo tackles than your star wide receiver.
Dude, this is like the Jaguars with Trayvon Walker, where they drafted him off potential. Over Aiden Hutchinson. And I yelled, and you and me were on the air during that. Like, you take Aiden Hutchinson at number 1, for the love of God. And it was all of, well, he's an athletic freak. He has the potential. He didn't do anything at Georgia either. He was just one of those guys out there. Dude, I know. Joe Flacco's going to go to the Hall of Fame. I will make the case now. All right. He's played for how long? Since 2008? He's something like that. He's been to multiple AFC championship games. He won a Super Bowl MVP. He, again, over 10 years, he has all those big yardage numbers. He took the Cleveland Browns. Okay, just think about this. The last 5 years of the Browns, they threw him in there, went straight to the playoffs. Get rid of them, they're trash again. Now he gets straight to the Bengals. Yeah, maybe this goes to a bigger point. I don't know why the Browns traded him to a division rival. I don't understand that. That's how stupid they are. And then you guys, you should have known Browning was not the answer as the backup. You should never. That also killed you. in this.
2 seasons ago, Browning played good.
Mm.
And they thought they were getting that, I guess, again, and it just didn't work out.
No.
I mean, and they saw it, to their credit, they saw it pretty quick. And you saw Mike Tomlin's press conference the week of when they played the Bengals on the Thursday night game, and he was just almost dog cussing the Cleveland organization, like, what are you guys doing? Because he knew what was going to happen, because Flacco has owned the Steelers for a decade.
Yeah.
And he knew, and Flacco goes out and dominates in that game. He goes out against the Jets, dominates. He goes out against, the Bears, and dominates.
Yeah.
Just the defense can't hold.
I think he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. The other one, the worth, the price of admission. T. Higgins is a great receiver, but that Jamar Chase, when you see it in person, your brain is like, get 10 guys on him, because he's constantly in the slot, and he's not the biggest guy either. He's not, but all of a sudden he's running around. He's wide open. Now, also, that's maybe the Bears and Jets defense the last 2 weeks have been awful, but like, he is dangerous. And this is what I was going to tell you. Most dudes in their 20s at the game, number 1 Chase jersey. Okay, that's the cool thing to do. I'm going to laugh when I say this. Every woman in the stadium, number 9 Joe Burrow. They have made the decision. Like, what's the hall pass for the women of that organization, the family? They are ready to give it up for Joe Burrow. I hope you know that, buddy.
I mean, he's a handsome dude. Which one will you take?
All right. Here's what I want you to know. We talk NFL draft. I thought for the first 7 weeks of the season, the Bears made a bad pick by taking Loveland over Warren, but something happened on Sunday where Cole Kmet got injured, and I think it threw Loveland out there, and he finally made some plays. I know this pains you to say. What did you think of Loveland on Sunday in that football game?
He played the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Let's not read into this more than we need to. Every single week, almost this year, the highest fantasy point output from a tight end has come against the Cincinnati Bengals. They give up more fantasy points against the tight ends than any other team in the league. So sign up the Steelers tight ends in 2 weeks, I guess, to your fantasy teams. Colston Loveland's a good player, and I think has he been banged up a little bit to start the season?
Yeah, he was.
So, I mean, I still think it was a mistake passing on Tyler Warren. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's been absolutely fantastic in Indianapolis right out of the gate. Exactly what we knew he was going to be. But Colston Loveland's going to be a good tight end in the league. There's good, maybe even great. But I don't think he's ever going to be as good as Tyler Warren. But I don't hate the pick. I didn't hate the pick then. I just thought that Warren should have been the pick.
Okay. We do this every couple weeks, and I'm going to do it with you right now. What do you think of that quarterback class 2 years later with Caleb Williams, Jane Daniels, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Drake May? What are your thoughts now into year 2 with all these quarterbacks that are playing?
It's going to be one of the better quarterback classes, right, that we've ever had at its current pace. I don't think Penix has really hit what he can be yet. We're starting to see it a little bit with J.J. McCarthy, who I was lower on in that class, but he had a great game this past week. He's just been banged up, to start. Bo Nix has kind of leveled off a little bit this year, but I think he's still playing well. Drake May's playing great. I mean, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, he's been injured this year, and that was just gross. That injury Sunday night.
Is he? And I feel bad. I'm going to ask this question. Is there a potential this could be like RG3 all over again for Washington?
I hope not, because his injuries up to this point haven't been to the things that would sap him of what makes him great. Like with Robert Griffin, it was the ACL, and that kind of took, a part of his game away, right? Was the ability to run. With Daniels, he had some of the other, but this is his non-throwing elbow. So I believe it was anyway. So you hope that doesn't really that shouldn't affect him going forward. It's just unfortunate injuries with him so far, but nothing that's permanently debilitating. But Caleb, he's Caleb, and he's finally starting to unleash with Ben Johnson, right? And it's kind of what you hoped you were going to get as a rookie. I mean, is the streak finally going to end? Is he going to hit 4K? Are we finally going to get the first 4K Bears passer this year?
Yes, and that's sad to say. I know it's like exciting, but it's sad at the same time. It really is. Hell, if Joe Burrow started all 17 games the way he's playing, he'd throw for 5,000 yards in this offense for the Bengals.
Yeah.
He would. I know. Look, dude, is Jackson Dart, is that a hit for the Giants when you look at the draft so far?
So far, so good, right? I mean, he's played well. He's brought a little oomph to him. So I mean, so far so good. I mean, that feels like the right call there for them to trade back in and to take Dart. So yeah.
Then what about the first pick that we had? The guy from Miami who's there in Tennessee now. What is that pick? Cam Ward. What is happening exactly?
You hope to continue to see improvement. I feel bad for Brian Callahan. I thought he was a good coach with the Bengals, and then he finally gets his chance, and he just completely lays an egg. You know, as the head coach of the Titans, he was just over his head. You know, you could see it. We'll see if Ward's development gets stymied. I don't think he was the wrong choice at the time, but because you had to draft a quarterback, and he was the guy, I guess, to draft because we had two quarterbacks going because Jackson Dart was the other. So
he has nothing. There's nothing around him, like nothing, none. So
their top receiver this year is like a day 3 rookie, Chimere Dike from Florida, who was mostly a special teams guy, but he's been their top receiving target.
Yeah, and the Calvin Ridley thing didn't really work out.
Didn't work out.
It was insane. It was insane anyway.
Calvin Ridley he's been done since the gambling thing. I mean, it's like, and then the injuries, and it's all just piled up, and he just hasn't. He's I don't want to say washed, but it's not worth the money anymore.
No, it's not. All right, let's end with this. And I appreciate coming on. I know you're a busy man. All right. And we'll really start hyping the draft here in another month or so. I know you're going now. All right. I know it never ends with you. All right. Who's going to the Super Bowl right now? Is it completely open? What is it?
The AFC is worse this year than it's been in how long? I feel like Buffalo is the best team in the AFC. Am I wrong to think that? But the NFC is so wide open. And the NFC North has what? I mean, all 4 teams could win that division right now.
Yes.
They're all within what, a game?
A game, right, and no one's below 500.
Right, and they're all within a game of first place.
Mm.
So I feel like Detroit's still a really good team over there. Philadelphia is continuing to make trades and bolstering their roster to make another run. I think the Rams are good.
Yeah,
you know, NFC's wide open. I'm going to say we get Buffalo and Philadelphia in the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't be shocked by that. And, you know, the 2 teams, hell, you know what? I apologize. 3 teams in the AFC. You have potential where the Colts, the Patriots, and the Broncos could all win their division, host playoff games, and I could see all 3 of them losing their home playoff games.
Baltimore's winning the AFC North, by the way.
Oh, so you're going – so, and you know what? Baltimore, you're right. Baltimore beating my Bears, then beating the Dolphins, they could go on a run now with Lamar Jackson. That's
going to happen. They still play the Bengals twice. So. Dude. Get Lamar on your rosters, folks. 2 games coming up.
That is, dude, again.
And those are both could be in the fantasy playoffs, by the way, or at least one of them.
Are you going to be in the fantasy playoffs at least?
No, I'm in dead last in my.
What? Who's your quarterback? Who is it?
It was Burrow.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. See, this is why I can't do fantasy either, because I turn into a homer and just want to draft all my own players, and it won't work. Well, all
It
right,
seemed like a good idea.
here's the bonus. So you were in Orlando a couple
I
weeks ago.
was.
You were at Disney World, but you weren't there to just have a grand old time. No, you put yourself through punishment. What did you do exactly at Disney World?
So we had signed up with me and my wife had wanted to do a one of the Run Disney races because it seems fun. You're running through the park, right? Or in my case, walking very fast through the park. Because so we had signed up for a 10K in Mobile last March, and I finished it. Good time, felt good. After the race, I slipped going down some stairs, blew my knee out. So didn't tear anything, so I couldn't have surgery. So now everything's still just swollen. So I can't jog anymore. So I have to be able to walk the pace. I end up walking this thing in a 13-minute, 30-second per mile pace, 10K, 6 points. I felt good about it. Felt really good. Finished great. My wife finished. It was a good. We had a great time with it. Our first 10K running or walking through Epcot at 5 o'clock in the morning is just wild, right?
Wow.
So, but yeah, and then we enjoyed the parks a few days afterwards, as one does when one is in Orlando.
Dude, that is awesome. And congratulations. Did you get the big like Disney marathon?
Yes, I have a medal with Olaf on it and everything. It's really fun.
That must have been so weird. Like you're walking around. You're like, oh, I'd like to go on I'd like to go on Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh no,
what's great is when you're running through the World Showcase part of Epcot for those that, and I'm quite sure everybody in your listening area has been to Disney at least once. When you're going through World Showcase and you go through the different places that cook the baking and they're just the smells that they're getting everything ready for the day, and it's just piped out and you're just smelling cinnamon and all this. It's so awesome.
Did you like when you finished? Were you exhausted, hungry? What was it like?
Believe it or not, no. And it's like I was surprised because I'm a big guy. I'm 235, 240 pounds on which is depending on the day of the week. And I wasn't winded. I wasn't tired. My legs weren't even really that tired. But what's crazy is to get to where you start the race, you have to like from the buses to the start line, it's like a mile walk. And then you do 6.2 miles for the race. And then after the race, it's like another half to 3/4 mile walk to get back to the bus to go to your resort.
I can't believe. So you did that, like you said. Then you probably passed out. Then the next day, hey, let's walk around the parks, even though we did 10 miles the day before.
So to put it in perspective, like we drove down on Friday. We got up at 2 a.m., drove down at 3 a.m. to get down there because we had to pick up all of our race stuff and all that. Then the race the next morning, we had to get up at 2 a.m. to get on the bus at 3 a.m. for the race start at 5 a.m. The next day, we're doing the post-race party at Epcot. So the parties, you can get into the park at 5 p.m., but it stays open till 1 a.m. So we went from getting up at 2 a.m. on Saturday to going to sleep at 2 a.m. on Monday morning.
And by the way, that drive, I've done this. The 10 across, the Redneck Riviera, whatever they call it, like is the most boring drive.
Awful.
It's the worst. And then
it's even worse when you're going to Jacksonville.
Well, I've never done that before.
Because it's 6 hours of just I-10 from Mobile straight into Jacksonville.
I-10 is the worst. And then you're driving down 75 going past, you Tallahassee to Gainesville. And then you hit the turnpike. Oh man, dude, you're
At least when I get on the turnpike, I know I'm almost there. I mean, that's the best thing I can say about the turnpike is I know that I'm an hour and a half away from not being in the car anymore. And because of my motion sickness, I can't ride in the car. So I have to drive the entire way down, drive the entire way back.
Oh, man.
I'm very upset because the cheap airline or the discount airline in Pensacola, which is an hour from here, they had daily direct flights for like $100 a piece. And then they went bankrupt right as I'm planning this trip.
Would you do it again?
The race?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We're already plotting the next one we want to do.
Oh, we're plotting. I like it. His name is Brian Bosarge. What were you going to say? What was it?
I was going to say, the thing is, I don't think these Run Disney races, I had 7, what do you call them, browsers open at one time just to get in a queue. These things, the race we did sold out in 45 minutes.
Yeah, you got to pay to do it as well. You got to pay. You got to pay for this pain. That's what it is. Your shirt should have said, I signed up for this. That's what it is. Brian Bosarge, Draft Countdown. Thank you so much for coming on and have a great day. All right, buddy.
Thanks, Mark.